So welcome to my YouTube channel. That's what we call The Good Life. Today we're going to take a tour around my home garden and my allotment. It's a very brief tour around the home garden because there's much more going up the allotment, and we're going to be heading up there shortly. So I've got my little raised bed here. All I've got is a little bit of chard. I wasn't sure whether it was slugs or the snails that had got it, but I actually think it's mainly the birds that have been eating my chard. Fortunately, I've got more chard in the raised bed over here with my herbs, and they don't seem to be as attacked as much, so I'm still harvesting that off, and I've still got lots of lovely herbs there as well, which I'm using all the time. I've got parsley, I've got chives, I've got thyme, so still lots of lovely herbs there. I've even got some spring onions, and even though they're not that big, I had a couple of spring onions the other day with my dinner. So even though they're a little bit tiny, they still did what I needed them to do. So it's looking quite bare up here, because obviously it's January, but I can actually see that my strawberries are starting to poke through. And my, obviously not edibles, but my hollyhocks across the back there are starting to poke through as well. In the greenhouse, there isn't too much going on in here, but I have got a few salad leaves and can and things that I planted in here, which actually are looking quite nice actually. They're not really big, but as soon as it warms up, they'll start to fill out even more. And even though I lost a few, it must have been slugs or snails that ate them, I've got a few more to replace them with, which I'm going to do very soon, but I have not got round to. I've still got some onions that I'm eating down there, so not loads left, but there's still a few to last me another month or two at least. And I've got some cauliflowers and some other bits and bobs there as well. My broad beans, unfortunately, aren't liking it in my greenhouse. I don't know whether there's not enough air getting around them or what's happening, but they're not looking very happy at all. So I'm going to be planting those up at the allotment. Well, some I'm going to plant up at the allotment, and some I've just popped outside the greenhouse, and hopefully they will burst back into life again. Some look like they're going to be okay, but some of them not quite so much. So I may be sowing some more in about a month's time, but we'll just have to see, won't we? So now let's just head up at the allotment and we can take a look around to see what's going on up there. So we're now up the allotment. As I said, my beans for some reason just weren't flourishing in the greenhouse, so I'm not entirely sure why, and they are hardy, so they can go out this time of year. So I've decided to take them up the allotment and pop them straight in the ground. I've left some at home, so I'm going to kind of edge my bets, giving them a little bit more air at home outside, and then maybe putting them back in at night if it's really cold, just to see which is the best course of action. So these are probably the healthiest ones which I've put out. So there's 8 there, that's not too bad, and I've still got some more at home. So obviously I shall look after those to see what happens. So hopefully they will come to fruition. Normally, even when broad beans look a little bit sad and not very healthy, they still do normally come back unless they get completely eaten off. I've got lots of things that I've started off at home as well. Those are things that I've mainly started off indoors. I've started off some peppers, some chili peppers, some sweet peppers, some aubergines, and also some microgreens as well. Now, because they aren't frost hardy at all, I'm keeping them indoors in my kitchen by a nice bright sunny window so they can get some daylight. If you've got anything that you've started off, it is a little bit tricky this time of year because I don't have any heat lights or anything like that. I have my propagator, and while I can take my lid off and use the base of that to keep them warm, I haven't got any electric anywhere other than inside my house, so I just have to put them near a sunny windowsill so they get plenty of daylight, so they don't get too leggy. So let's start wandering around the plot. So I've got some parsnips here, which I am still yet to dig these. I think I tried digging one, it wasn't very big, so I'm going to leave them in a little bit longer. My later carrots, I haven't dug any, but I can already see the tops of them are really quite big, so they're looking pretty good, so I can start harvesting those really soon. So they were really late planting those, and I wasn't sure whether they would come to anything, but they seem to be doing really well. If we move over to the leeks, they're not the biggest leeks in the world, I'm going to say that, but they are all really good. So I've got no disease on them whatsoever, but they just haven't got very big. So I've literally I dug a few up the other day, and I've just dug up almost half of them today and popped them in my bag to take home with me to have. So as you can see, they're not terrible, but they're not the biggest leeks in the world. I don't think they'd win any awards, but maybe for taste, maybe. But I've still got some lovely leeks there. Generally, if you've got leeks, you want to get them up by March because they can start to bolt. So we are getting to the later part of the season. But yeah, they're small, but they are tasting very, very good indeed. So as we wander around, so we've got the blueberries here, looking really lovely. So lots of, as you can see, lots of little shoots on them. So even though from a distance they don't look like much is going on at all, there are lots of little tiny shoots on there. So it's clearly things are happening. The garlic's not looking too bad. It's always difficult to tell. Obviously, this is a bit of a trial for me because I normally plant them in the ground. But I've put them in here hoping that the drainage will be much better and I'll get a better crop, but we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? My overwintering onions are looking quite good. So if you've got any overwintering onions, it's worth keeping them weeded, because like garlic and onions, they don't compete very well with weeds. I've got still got some chard over here and a little bit of beetroot that I'm just gradually using. You know, all the time it's still there and it's not bolting. I might as well just leave it there and use it as and when I need it. And we've also got a few more carrots left in here as well. I think I might be on the tail end of those. But again, you know, when you dig the carrots, you leave them in, you dig the bigger ones first and then the smaller ones swell out. So I'm always amazed when I dig them and there's only small ones left, and then when I come back a week or two later, the others have started to fill out a little bit more. So I'm sure I'll still have plenty of carrots. I've got to say my carrots have been a particular success this year in the fact that I just seem to be getting more of them and they're doing really, really well, better than they normally do. The Enviromesh makes such a big difference. I think keeping it a little bit warmer underneath, and also keeping the carrot fly away as well. Been a complete game changer using that Enviromesh. As is the ground cover I've spoke about. This area obviously hasn't got anything planted on it at the moment, but ground cover is a really good way of stopping the weeds, so that you can just really look after your plot really easily. I'll put a link up on the screen and one in the description if you're looking for some ground cover, because I do hear a lot of people talking about what to cover their ground with, and I think the weed suppressant is much better, the strong stuff like this, because it lets the water through, and it keeps it warm underneath as well, and you can just reuse it every single year. So really useful. So I've got my Jerusalem artichokes there, which I've dug one plant, and I've shared a few around, but I need to get a little bit more adventurous. I need to dig a few more and I need to eat a few more. It's a bit like the other artichokes. It's really great when someone else prepares them for you, but they are a little bit more fiddly to prepare. My gooseberry plants, obviously they're dormant and I do need to give them a little bit of a prune, but again, loads of buds on them. As you can see, tons and tons of buds on them, but I do need to prune these out because these have got too much, you know, too many branches in them. They're all crossing over and you need good air to get around them so that they flourish and create good gooseberries. We came up here and we did a little bit of digging. You know what, we did some digging and some tidying up and some weeding last week, and it was really easy to do that part there. We came over and just with the little bit of snow and colder weather, it's just that little bit more claggy and really hard to work on. So we're a little bit disappointed that we couldn't get more done, but we just need for it to be a little bit drier and just a little bit warmer. So with things like these jobs, you just have to choose your days. And we still did a little bit, and a little bit is better than nothing, so we removed some of the weeds. But yeah, it was really hard going. So if you come up the allotment some days and you think, oh my goodness me, we all feel like that sometimes, and sometimes you just do a little bit and then come back another day when it's easier to work on. I've uncovered my kale. Now obviously this time of year the birds will attack it, but I've got to the point now where my cover wasn't big enough to cover it and it was suppressing everything down and it was ruining it for me and for anyone else. So I've decided to uncover it, and if the birds attack it and I lose it, then so be it. But it was the covering was too restrictive on it and I didn't have any means of lifting it up anymore. But even though again this looks a little bit shabby, there is still some good looking kale here, look. You know, so you think, oh, sometimes it looks really bad, there's nothing there, but then when you really look at it, it's not too bad. And I've picked off quite a generous amount of curly kale to take home. So I only had a couple of the curly varieties this year. And I've got some of that to have with my dinner this evening, so that'll be really lovely. My wildflower part has started to die off, and it was quite interesting because when we all talk about suppressing weeds, it highlights it sometimes when things start to die back. So obviously this bit was absolutely covered in wildflowers, absolutely covered. Obviously the little bit down the side here wasn't, and the difference between the two, where the weeds just haven't grown, where you've got something else competing with the weeds, is actually quite obvious. So it's a really good way if you've got areas that you're not planting on, you know, either put a bit of cardboard down on one side of it or plant it with some wildflowers like we did here, because obviously the wildflowers are good for the environment as well, to keep all the beneficial insects around, and they do look ever so pretty too, and you can pick some and put them in a vase as well. So I do hope you've enjoyed the tour of the allotment. If you're wondering what you can sow this month, there is a link up on the screen and also one in the description.